Christians stay away from Catholicism.
Is an ancient pagan ritual.
All right, let's see it.
Eucharist or host has the letters IHS on it, Isis, Horus, Sep.
So that doesn't mean anything, and IHS is a Latinized version of the first three Greek letters of the name Jesus. Iota, Eta, Sigma.
And the host from the Latin meaning the sacrifice.
So this is accurate. Host comes from the Latin hostia, which refers to the sacrificial victim, and originally this was used as a reference to Jesus, and it would later come to be used as a reference to the bread of the Eucharist.
The round wafer, whose roundness is so important in the Roman mystery, is another symbol of Baal. Babylon, mystery religion, ancient and modern, page 129. So the roundness is a symbol of the sun.
So circles can be and have been used as symbols of lots of things throughout history, and there are no data whatsoever that suggest this has anything at all to do with Baal, who, by the way, was the storm god, not the god of the sun. That is a very outdated 19th century misunderstanding.
And there you have it in the even-sided cross, which is also the symbol of the sun god, the sun deity.
Again, circles can be symbols of lots of things.
All right, there we have it. In the Assyrian, you had the symbol of the sun, which was round, and it was placed in the half moon, which was the symbol of the birth into the womb of the sun god. And it was called Baal Hadad.
So multiple problems here. Nothing says Baal Hadad. The inscription on the right side actually says Baal Haran. But Baal there is not being used in the sense of the personal name of the Northwest Semitic storm deity Baal Hadad. It's being used in the generic sense of Lord or Master, because the patron deity of the city of Haran, the Baal Haran, was Sin, the Mesopotamian moon deity. And this is not a sun and a moon. It is a crescent moon on top of a moon disk. So this inscription does not refer to Baal Hadad at all, and it does not refer to anything related to any solar deity. It is referring entirely and exclusively to a moon deity. And additionally, again, Baal has nothing to do with the sun. If you'd like more information about this inscription and its imagery, you can consult this article from the journal Die Welt des Orients.
And it was also often a star in a moon. And the star represents the star from the east. It was called the dog star. And it was a representation of Sirius.
So none of this is accurate. There are occasionally ancient conflations of the star symbol, usually an 8, but in a couple of instances a 6-pointed star within a crescent moon, and that is a representation of the Mesopotamian moon deity. Again, Sin in Akkadian, they were known as Nana in Sumerian, and when it had the star inside of it, it represented Venus, or Ishtar, who was the daughter of Sin/Nana. So it's not a star at all, and it's definitely not Sirius the dog star or the North Star, which was definitely not the star in the east.
Yes. Now, remember the ancient Magi, the 3 wise men that came to Jesus. Is that right?
No, that's not right. There is absolutely nothing that numbers the Magi at 3.
Now, occultism today, in the Masonic form, teaches that the wise men followed the star in the east and followed it to Bethlehem. That's what they teach. Question: if the wise men came from the east, then where was the star relative to them over Bethlehem? It was in the west. So in actual fact, the star that they are serving is not the star which represents Jesus Christ, but the one in the east which represents Sirius, the dog star, and is a symbol of Lucifer.
So Masons can curate their symbolism however they see fit. The star in the east is an old, outdated misunderstanding of the Greek that actually refers to the star in its astrological rising, and none of this has anything to do with Lucifer, which is a Latin rendering of a reference to Venus anyway, not to Sirius or the North Star or the dog star or anything like that.
So that was the ancient Mesopotamian symbol of Baal Hadad.
That image on the left has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with Baal Hadad. That is a reconstruction from about 100 years ago of the Ur-Nammu stele, which dates to around 2100 BCE and is from the Sumerian civilization. And that symbol, which most scholars agree today has been rather poorly reconstructed, is a symbol of the moon deity in Sumerian Nana. And if there was a star symbol within that crescent moon, that would have been a symbol of their daughter Inanna, which represented Venus. If you'd like more information about this stele and attempts to reconstruct its imagery, you can check out this article from the magazine Expedition.
So here you have the symbol of Osiris, the round disk, in the half moon, which is the symbol of Isis, or there you have the symbol of Horus, which is the birth of the sun, the S-O-N, and the half moon.
So that is a wildly inaccurate description of the image on the right. That has nothing to do with Isis or Osiris. That is part of an amulet that was found in the tomb of Tutankhamun. So it dates to around 1323-ish BCE. And the eye represents the sun deity Ra in their solar bark. And the symbol of the crescent moon and the solar disk represents Khonsu. And the three figures within the solar disk represent Tutankhamun, who is being crowned by Thoth and Ra-Harakti.
Now, who uses that symbol today? Which religion has that as its main symbol? Islam. Islam has this as its main symbol.
So again, it's not a star, that's the planet Venus within the crescent moon, and that symbol on the left is a poor reconstruction. That was pretty rare to see those two symbols put together that way. And the Islamic use of the star and the crescent moon almost certainly develops from later different usage of these symbols, probably through Byzantine or other societies.
And Islam and Catholicism stand side by side. You go to the Middle East, you go to Islamic countries where evangelism is forbidden, where you may not proselyte in the name of Jesus Christ. You will find the mosque and the Catholic cathedral next to each other wherever you go. Whether you go to Amman, whether you go to Jerusalem, whether you go to Syria, you do it. And you will see the Roman Catholic cathedral and this one standing side by side.
So there are absolutely many places where you can find Catholic cathedrals next to mosques in the Middle East, and that is because Catholicism had spread around that region by the time of the rise of Islam, and there's been back and forth struggling over those regions, but this has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the absolutely ludicrous notion that these two religions are somehow rooted in this ancient pagan symbolism and worship.